and UNC Charlotte. I'll start with some background information and then transition into talking about ELTI specifically. So we are North Carolina's urban research university. We are the fastest growing university in the state of North Carolina. And that's evidenced by our buildings. Our campus is very new. Certainly since Jingjing was a student here, there's been lots of new buildings in that time. So just in the last 7 years, we have 22 new buildings on our campus. So nice modern facilities. By the numbers, as I mentioned, we're growing. We have just over 30,000 students on our campus. Most of them are undergraduate students seeking a bachelor's degree, but about almost 6,000 are graduate students. And of that, we have about 1,600 international students. And we're fortunate here that we have international students joining us from all around the world, nearly 90 different countries. So if you come and study with us, chances are you will find someone else that might be from your country as well. That being said, we have lots of ways for international students to connect with each other and also with students from the US. We have different clubs, we have coffee hours, lots of different organizations. The picture here you see in the background is from our International Festival, which is UNC Charlotte's largest event every year. We also have some living communities where we partner domestic students and international students together. And I'm gonna let Jingjing chime in here from her perspective as a former student to kind of talk about some of those opportunities.
Thank you, Lauren. I was fortunate that learned about the international club. So later on, wanted to be more involved. So I applied my leadership experience at international club. I was actually the president for the international club for 3 years while I was attending the university. So we've done a lot to help international students adapting the US culture. So for instance, we would host international parties at the beginning of the semester. Of course, we probably can't really do that now with the COVID, but I'm sure there is like a virtual event there to help international students to learn from each other, also connect with the local US students. And we also did international coffee hour every month to help students to through gaming as well as conversation to help each other with any of the concerns or anything that they wanted to talk about as far as how are they adjusting the ELTI or university life. We also had different trips. For instance, went to Washington D.C., New York, and so on and so forth to learn about U.S. history and also celebrating Thanksgiving in New York to really experience that culture. So international club has helped me as well as all other students to get involved and also practice that leadership skills as well as getting connected with the local students and of course practice your English.
Great, thanks for that perspective, Jingjing. I'll also add that within our ESL program, the English Language Training Institute, we organize cultural activities and events throughout the semester. Of course, right now, that looks a little differently because of the situation of our world right now. So some of them are virtual, some of them are outside activities as the weather permits. But we do feel that it's important not only to be practicing your English language skills in the classroom, but to be practicing them outside of the classroom and learning about US culture. Okay, let me go to the next slide here. So as I just mentioned, outside of the classroom, beyond that, our campus is located close to the city center. This is a picture of uptown Charlotte. We call it uptown. It's the same thing as downtown. It's located around 7 or 8 miles from our campus and is accessible by our public transportation, the light rail system, which is free for students. We have a lot of companies in Charlotte, and many students are involved with internships during their time here. They're involved with OPT or CPT after they graduate. You can see some of them that I've listed on the screen. Amazon, Lowe's, Novant Health is our hospital, Bank of America. If you are interested in studying business or finance, Jingjing mentioned earlier she studied finance, this is a great place for you to be because we are one of the largest banking and financial cities in the US. So Jingjing, I'll let her chime in here as well about her experience in moving from kind of being a student to doing OPT and CPT and working in Charlotte.
Thank you, Lauren. So I did my CPT at TIAA. So it's a financial institution that provides retirement funds to teachers, military employees, so on and so forth. So that was directly related to my major was finance. Then the OPT I did was with Northwestern Mutual. It's another financial institution. It's not on this list, but there are so many financial institutions, from big names to, you know, big banks to financial, to insurance companies, anything you can name it. So if you wanted to major in any area of business, this is definitely a great place for you to be, to build that network and then start, you know, expanding your career.
Great, thank you. I'll also mention, just because Ella, I know you're interested in education, that our Department of Education has a lot of connections with local schools, and they do a lot of placement with our local school system. So there's a lot of interaction between the university and professors and students on campus. So if you're interested in something like that as well, a lot of students are involved and can easily be coordinated with their class experience.
Lauren, you're on mute.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so a little more about our city. I'll just mention briefly that, again, we're accessible by the light rail. That's the train you can see in the bottom corner of your screen. It's free for students. Within the Charlotte area, the downtown has a lot of companies and businesses, but there's also restaurants, museums. We have some professional sports teams here, NBA, NFL, lots of outdoor activities. So when you do have free time on the weekends, it's a great place for families and for students to be able to go and explore. No, Jingjing, do you have anything else to add about the city that you want to comment on?
Yeah, I think on the picture of the left top, you have the Whitewater Center. It's a lot of fun. And on the bottom, I think it's a Carowinds, and it's, you know, one of the amusement park, and it's, you know, it's suitable for pretty much all ages. Of course, I think it's 3 or 5 above. And there's museums. I think you can still go today and make reservations. There's a lot of activities for any ages. And I would say it's a very well-versed culture that over here at Charlotte.
Great, thank you, Jingjing. Okay, I am unmuted now, that's good. So, a little bit more about academics. You probably already know, but just to recap, we do have 7 different colleges here at UNC Charlotte. We have 171 different majors, 22 at the doctoral level, 65 master's level. So there are lots of opportunities, something for everyone. I have our 7 colleges listed here. Some of the most popular at the undergraduate level are computer science. So if you're interested in AI, if you're interested in cybersecurity, computer engineering, those are all very strong programs. Our Belk College of Business and our finance programs are strong because of the nature of our city. We have a very good education program at the undergraduate and the graduate level, and also our engineering and architecture programs are particularly popular with students. So there's lots of opportunity. I encourage you, if you haven't already, to explore what some of those options are. And when you are here, if you start with English language training, we also help students connect with advisors. So we're happy to help you explore some of your options as well. Okay, so campus life, what will it be like when you arrive? We've mentioned previously, there's a lot of student organizations on campus. We have a strong athletics program. There's always sporting events happening. There's lectures happening. We have a large student union, which has a movie theater and other activities for students. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to engage and to meet people beyond the classroom and to continue practicing your English language skills. How to apply? There are two main ways. One is to apply for conditional admission. The second option is to apply directly for us, for the English Language Training Institute. I'm going to talk first about conditional admission. Then I'm going to talk about the English language program, some of the details of that and the application process. So conditional admission, you may have heard of this. I mentioned it earlier and so did Jingjing. This is for students who are interested in an undergraduate program. You want to do a bachelor's degree, but you don't have the English language skills yet. You can apply directly to your undergraduate degree program and then start with us in ELTI. As soon as you complete our program, then you can start your degree program without taking the TOEFL or IELTS test, which is not something every school offers. And a lot of students are happy to hear that because the TOEFL and IELTS are long tests. It can be stressful. A lot of students spend a lot of time studying for those. So if you want to apply directly for your degree program and start with English language, you can go to the website here on your screen, the future49er.uncc.edu. Okay. If you are, again, so maybe you don't have the English proficiency yet, just to summarize, these are the proficiency scores required for undergraduate admission at UNC Charlotte. So you have to have a 70 on the TOEFL, a 6 on the IELTS. Right now we're accepting the Duolingo English test because of COVID. It's an online test you can take from home, and you're required to have a 100 on that test. If you don't meet those requirements, then again, you can start with us in ELTI. If you look all the way at the bottom, you'll see I have listed level 5 completion. So if you finish level 5 in ELTI, our highest level, that satisfies the English proficiency requirement for the school. So that means you can complete level 5 and then you don't need the TOEFL or the IELTS to start your degree program. So a little bit about us now. We've recapped, told you about UNC Charlotte, told you about the city. So what about us? Here's a picture of our campus. This is the center of campus. And my office is located, you see the building with the shiny metal top kind of in the background. That's where we are, right in the center of campus, the English Language Training Institute. And in our campus, or in our program, we have 5 levels. As I mentioned before, level 1 is very basic, kind of a beginning level, and it advances to level 5, which is almost fluent, right? or close to fluency. Level 5 is very academic English. It's kind of the first step before transitioning into the university. So we work with students from the very beginning all the way up to very proficient advanced learners. Students in our program take class up to 20 hours per week. If you, depending on your visa, if you're here on a J visa or a different type of visa, you can take class part-time. If you are here on an F1 student visa, you'll be taking class almost 20 hours a week. Each full-time student takes 3 different classes: a reading writing class, a speaking listening class, and a class called academic language. So each level, remember I mentioned there are 5, each level is 1 semester in length. So we have 3 semesters each year: fall semester, spring semester, and summer semester. Fall and spring are a little longer. You can see on the screen, 15 weeks. Our summer semester is 11 weeks. It's a little bit shorter. So you'll have longer class hours, but you'll be in class a little bit less. Right now, we have in-person and online instruction. So we are meeting in class some days, and some days class is online. And this is because of the university's decisions, safety decisions for COVID-19, to have less people on campus. In the fall, it is likely we will be all face-to-face again, but the university has not made an official decision yet on that. So if you have questions about the class format, feel free to ask, to send us an email. As we know more information, we will be sharing that with you. So that's a little bit about the basics of our classes. I'm going to invite Jingjing to talk again and share a little bit about her time as an ELTI student, what it was like, maybe anything she'd like to share about her experience, how it impacted her.
Thank you, Lauren. And so I was at ELTI program. I think I spent 1 semester, and I had a lot of great teachers helped me from, different aspects from, speaking, listening, writing, as well as, of course, reading. And I think besides the teachers, there's other resources like the Writing Resources Center. Laura, you can chime in as far as, if UNC Charlotte still do that. I think with them, they also helped me, for instance, when I have like an essay due or anything, I would go to them, schedule an appointment to have them help me double check, my grammar, my spelling, just kind of, and from them, I also learned a lot about writing. So that's how I kind of built up my writing and the presentation skills to help me prepare for later on, the university life as well as professional career life. Let's see, what else? The advisors at ELTI as well as, the university helped me a lot as well. They helped me map out, my plans for each semester, what courses I need to take in order to earn my degrees. So I would highly recommend you, build a good relationship with your advisors. So that's the academic advisor. And at UNC Charlotte, there is other resources such as the career advisor. So we have a career center. You can go visit where they will help you write your resume, edit your resume. There is mock interview you can take advantage of to practice your interview skills, as well as there is so much career fair, job fair you can attend, and then start look what what vendors, what job opportunities are out there for you. So I would even though you are not a junior or senior, it doesn't hurt for you to walk around. I started to just kind of check it out what's going on when I was a ELTI student, and then I attended every year as I, working on campus building that working experience, as well as being the president of international club to build that leadership skills. And of course, that's on a foundation of you have to do well at school, do well academically. So to show that you can be a good student, earn good GPA, and you're a good worker by working as a part-time worker, as well as leadership skills where you can practice. It's very useful in the work life once you finish your career, and so on and so forth. So there is so much resources at UNC Charlotte you can really help you to grow, to develop towards your academic goal as well as a career goal.
Great, thanks. I'll add a couple things that I didn't mention. So all of our classes focus on academic English and preparing you to be successful in the university. For students who are at the very basic beginning level, we're going to start with kind of communication skills. But as you become more advanced, you are writing essays, you are reading books in the class, you are having conversations, deep conversations, expressing your opinions, practicing presentations. So we are really focused on preparing you for success in the classroom beyond English. And it takes a lot of practice, but we have students every year. The majority of our students move from our program into the university and do so successfully. Even students who start at the very beginning, right? It may take a little time, but they get there. As I mentioned, each level is a semester in length. So you could take, if you studied one calendar year, you could complete 3 levels. When you start in ELTI, when you arrive, we give each student a placement test. We listen to your speaking and we look at your writing, and then we put you in the level that is best matched for your skills. So some students are with us just for 1 semester. Maybe they're really advanced. They only need 1 semester. Some students maybe need to spend a little more time before they're ready for the university. Our classes are academic focused, but we also realize that you need to practice your everyday communication skills. So we coordinate a couple opportunities for students. One is our conversation hour. So we have conversation partners. Jingjing maybe participated in this, where we have UNC Charlotte students come and you can practice your conversational English with them. The second thing, if you are at our higher level, our level 5, you can actually go and take a UNC Charlotte class while taking an ELTI class. So you can do both at the same time. Sit in and practice and take a UNC Charlotte class while still getting the English language support from us. I'll also mention that our classes are very small. Some English schools, there's a lot of students in the class. Our classes are typically around 10 students in a class. So you get a lot of individual attention and practice with the teacher. And we have a lot of diversity in our classroom. So some schools maybe have a lot of Chinese students or a lot of Arabic students. We're lucky, right now we have a variety. So we have Spanish speakers, we have French speakers, we have Chinese speakers, Japanese, Russian, Arabic. We have students from many different countries. So it's an opportunity for you to practice your English, but also practice your English with different accents, people who are from different countries, and learn about their perspective. Okay, so that was some about what we're offering. I want to just kind of summarize, take a moment to summarize. So you can get conditional admission at the undergraduate level. Again, that's applying for your degree program, but you don't have the English level yet, so you might start with us first. If you complete our level 5, you can get a TOEFL or IELTS test waiver. That means you don't need to take the TOEFL test or the IELTS test for admission to show your English proficiency. While you are a student in ELTI, you have full access to our student services. So all the clubs we mentioned, the festival Jingjing mentioned, the library, the advising centers, the gym, you have access to everything, just like a degree-seeking student does. Our tuition for the ESL classes is on your screen there, $4,476 for a full-time student. So that's the 3 classes, 20 hours a week. That does not include your living expenses. So you'll have to plan for extra for housing, for your meals, for insurance. So I'm going to go ahead here and share, if you are interested in applying directly to ELTI, maybe that's a student, if you're going to be doing a master's or a doctoral degree, graduate program, you can apply directly with us first. Maybe you don't want to go to the university, you just want to improve your English, or you're not sure yet, you can start by applying with us here at the ELTI website. We process your application quickly. So you should have a decision within 1 or 2 weeks from us once we get all of your documents for admission. At any time that you're studying in ELTI, you can apply for a degree program, and we are happy to help you, to connect you with an advisor for that. You'll also see on the screen a couple ways to connect with us. So Instagram is one. We do have Instagram. If you have that, we sometimes post announcements like this webinar on our Instagram page, student photos, information. And then we also have a WhatsApp account. The WhatsApp phone number is on our website. So if you prefer that to email, you're welcome to send us any messages on that as well. It's a quick way to contact us. All right, so we've talked to you a long time now. I'm gonna go ahead and stop. If anyone has questions for us, something we didn't mention, things you want to know, feel free, you can either type your question in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Jingjing is happy to answer questions from her perspective, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have a question. Yeah, my name is Ba Ahmed. I am from Mauritania and I live in South Korea for my PhD course. So I'm in my first semester, but most of the classes are in Korean. But I wanted to improve my English in order to write more papers, like on the field of my, like how can I say, on the field of logistics. I wanted to know if it is possible for me to come on this summer and do 1 semester and come back to Korea to continue my PhD, and then try to come back to another semester to continue, if it is possible or not.
Great question, thank you. So yes, that is possible. You can come for 1 semester, for the summer semester, and then return to complete your studies. And then if you want to come back in the future, you're welcome to do that, yes. So you can join ELTI just for 1 semester if you want to. Sometimes we have professionals, people who are working in another country, but they want to improve their English because they have to use it for work or for writing papers or for presentations. And they come just for 1 semester for that reason, and then they go back. So yes, absolutely. And we, as I said, because our classes are small and at the advanced level, you can get a lot of one-on-one experience. So you can talk to the teacher, explain your purpose. You know, you want to improve your writing in this specific area. And there is some flexibility in working with you to help for that purpose and to do assignments for that purpose. Great question, thank you. Any other questions?
Mm, I will start thinking. I will leave. I will wait a little bit so that I can ask more questions. Yeah.
Okay, I see a question in the chat from Elena. She would like to know if we could give more information about the online ESL class. Okay, and then she has a couple more. So Milena, great question, thank you. The online ESL class, we have a class starting on March 2nd. It is a new online class. It's 8 weeks in length, and it is taught by one of our best teachers, Mr. Seth Stroud. And he has a lot of experience working with a variety of students from basic to advanced. The online class is a communication class, but you will be doing some reading in the class as well, and potentially some writing. So the class is really to help you focus on your expressing your ideas and opinions. So the reason you'll read, he's going to have you do some reading, so there's content, and then in class you're going to be discussing it and practicing talking about it. Seth he's meeting with each student at the start of the class to do an interview with them. So he can listen to your speaking, listen to your pronunciation, listen to your grammar, and to help you identify areas to improve. He also will ask you a little about your goals and what you want to practice. And then you'll work with him throughout those 8 weeks. At the end of the class, you'll do another interview and exit test, and you'll be able to see how you improved during the 8 weeks. You will get a certificate for the class, a certificate of completion that shows your proficiency level. And this class is happening at 9:30 a.m. our time. It's twice a week, 9 to 10:30, I misspoke. 9 to 10:30 our time. So some of you, maybe that's in the evening. If you are a student who is wanting to come for summer or come for fall, it may be a good chance to practice and get started a little bit, get to know Seth, to practice your English before coming in a shorter amount of time. I know we have a couple students in the class who are doing that are starting early before coming to campus. And the class is small. So we are keeping no more than 8 to 10 students in the class. It will be online on Zoom. And the reason we have it to be small is so that everyone can have practice speaking with Seth. An online class can be a little difficult if you haven't done one before, but it's easier if there's less people. So the application for the online class is open now. It's online. If you have more questions or you want to talk to Seth, who's teaching the class, he's happy to talk to you. If you're interested, but you don't know if you want to take it, he's happy to talk to you about what he'll be teaching. And I'm happy to as well. So you can contact me by phone or by email. I'll share that information at the end of the presentation, but I send my email in the chat now too to everyone. That's my email address if you want to contact me directly. Okay, Melina's other question, let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Yeah, so it sounds like Melina is a more advanced learner. She just took the TOEFL and she got a pretty good score. She's finishing her bachelor's degree, but she's curious to know if the class would be a good fit to improve her grammar and her writing skills. So I would say yes, Melina, especially your grammar skills. This would be a good class to practice that. The other learners in the class, I think, would be a similar skill level to you. I would encourage you, I don't know how much writing Seth will do in the class. So as a teacher, I would encourage you to talk to him about his plans to make sure it's a good fit. He can tell you a little more about his lesson plans. If you send me an email there or you want to call, I will connect you with Seth. But yes, it sounds like you're the right level for the class, and yes, it will certainly help you with your reading and your grammar skills, and your communication. Again, the writing I'm not sure on. We'll have to follow up, but send me an email and I'm happy to connect you with Zach on that. Great question. Okay, other questions for Jingjing or myself?
Yeah, I have another question. I wanted to know, actually, I know some English. I wanted to know before starting the semester, do I have to take a test in order to know my level before starting?
Good question. So when to apply to our English language training program, you do not need to take a test when you apply. When you arrive, when you come here, we have new student orientation. And during orientation, all students will take a placement test. So that will tell you which level you will start in. If you want to know in advance, maybe you're not sure and you want to know, send me an email and we can try to arrange a pre-test for you, but no, you are not required to. We will give everyone an interview and the writing test during orientation before they start classes. Thanks. Now, other questions?
I think that's all.
That's all. Okay, if you do not have other, oh, Ella, do you want to mute yourself? It looks like you have a question. No? Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next slide here. Here is my contact information. My name again, Lauren Kinter. Our website, the office ELTI email address is here, but again, my personal email is in the chat. And this is our office phone number. If you go to our website, if you use WhatsApp and you want to send a chat message, I'm the other person who gets your message. So you can send a message on WhatsApp and you can contact me anytime. That's dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I also have on here Maria Thompson. She is the international admissions employee. So she works in international admissions for undergrad. If you're interested in that, this is their contact information. She's happy to schedule appointments on Zoom, and she can talk more about degree programs here at UNC Charlotte. And that's their office phone number as well. And Jingjing, if you want to find out more about her and the student experience, as well as our other ambassadors, she can share here. Yeah, so you can find out more about our other ELTI ambassadors, former students, by going to our website, elti.uncc.edu. Under that first tab where you can find out staff information, you can also see information for our students, current students and previous students. And they have their email addresses there. They're happy to talk to you about their student experience. And if you have questions about life here, classes, and you don't want to hear from me, you want to hear from a student themselves, feel free to reach out and contact them too. All right, well, thank you everybody. I appreciate you taking time to join us. It's a sunny, beautiful afternoon here in Charlotte, and I hope you've had a nice evening or morning or night, wherever you are. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. But